The 7 Steps of Precipitation, Hercules in Amazonia, Step 1. Beloved Hercules and beloved Amazonia, Elohim of the first ray, the blue ray. Divine qualities, faith, protection, God's will. Retreat, Half Dome, Yosemite National Park, Sierra Nevada, California. Dear hearts, we begin a journey that you show by being here, the willingness to participate, knowing more about the 7 steps to precipitation, albeit on varying levels of understanding and commitment to date. However, that is perfectly aligned to where each of us are at this time. Yet this endeavor, this unification of willingness by everyone who wishes to use these amazing steps, will, through the cohesive powers of love, raise their vibrational frequency to higher levels of awareness, and in so doing, will give you an even greater opportunity to expand your life into the higher realms of Christ and God consciousness. We begin here by introducing beloved Hercules, whom I have invited to speak with you directly at this most auspicious time. And beloved Hercules in Amazonia, sit with me now as I write this presentation for you. I have been asked to share an introduction by Hercules that was given through Thomas Prince at a gathering of Chiles at September 5th, 1954. Hercules has agreed to imbue this introduction with his full power and might. So with no further ado, I invite Hercules to speak with you now. Beloved children of the One, I come to you today at the behest of Peter for the purpose to introduce you the first principle of the 7 steps to precipitation. And to save precious time, I have asked that Peter include my address many years ago that today is even more necessary and more fervently requires your direct and devoted attention. For today we begin together a venture of precipitation that is an extension of something even more powerful in the creation of manifesting. A new world for all life on planet Earth. Take heed, dear ones, and feel my will to do surrounding you and enveloping you now as you read my gift to you. In the name of God, I bring you the fire of Hercules. I am the Elohim who embodies the will to do. I am the Elohim of decision. And God spare me the vacillating man. Everything that has ever been accomplished on the plane of earth or in the plane of heaven has been accomplished by men and women of decision, by angels, elementals, and devas of decision, by beings who have voluntarily chosen to combine the energies of their lives with the will to do. Without that will to do, there is no permanence of accomplishment. Preceding all action, preceding all manifestation, there must be the will to do within the consciousness. In this universal scheme, it is my privilege and honor to embody the fire, enthusiasm, and the will to do that which God intends. It is my joy, my privilege, and my honor this morning to bring to you the pressure of my love and flame of my heart, to expand upon your foreheads my presence, consciousness, and will to do what God intends. Are you content with what you are, what you manifest today? Are you content with a half a loaf when you could have a full one? Are you content to live in limitation and bodies of decay? Is that what you will that you manifest? Fire, O God, the flame of decision upon the foreheads of these who are yet the best of the fruits and harvest of my divine ray and kingdom on earth. Fire them with the will to be, what thy great heart would have them be. Fire that flame upon their foreheads until they will to be the opulent, precipitating presence, until they will to be the dignified, embodied youth of God, until they will to set aside disease, decay, and death, and know life, until they will to embody uninterrupted harmony in the energies of their being. No longer shall the heart of Hercules, represented by certain chelas embodied on earth, will to abide in shadows. Fire them with the remembrance of their God estate, O God. Fire them with the will to become manifest expressions of God control to all sons and daughters of men, masters, not victims of circumstance. Fire them to see with the sight of God. Fire them to hear your celestial voice of their presence. Fire them to move upon the path of light. Fire them to manifest the healing presence. by the release of the radiation of comfort and peace which flows from the hems of their garment. Fire them to reject the lethargy and discordant creations of mass consciousness of the race. O beloved students of light, upon your forehead blazes the flame of Hercules. Remember it each morning, acknowledge it before you proceed into the activities of the outer world, and will to become that which God intends. I am honored to be the first of the Elohim to bring to you today some knowledge of our activities, to set into motion a rhythm in this series of addresses, by which you may have for yourself and give in printed form to the world the sevenfold activity of the mighty Elohim of creation, which is an individualized process of precipitation. This you can embody in your own mental consciousness to externalize that which you require. Beloved ones, we have come to a point where you, who are the builders of the new age, must enter into the science of creation. The slipshod happenstance, the hopeful, faithful consciousness, taking the bitter with the better, is not enough. Such consciousness must be succeeded by a scientific process of creation through your individual mental and feeling worlds, by which you become and remain master. Then you channel for us into the world of form those ideas and patterns which will create the nucleus of the permanent golden age, which your great master, friend and patron, Saint Germain, so desires to make manifest. Through whom shall this age come but yourselves? At this time, Saint Germain has no one else embodied here, through whom he can work but yourselves. Those who love him and have served him through the years, you are the open door. Have you thought that through? This means that your mind is a channel through which must be lowered the ideas that fill the realm in which he abides, and then, through your minds, vitalized by your feelings, they must be precipitated into manifest expression for the blessing of life. Therefore your minds may be trained in the use of the powers which are the gifts of the Elohim. Follow me closely now, please. Preceding all manifestation comes the desire, then the decision and will to do. Preceding all activities in the outer world of form, you too first desire and then make a decision to use your life to endeavor to externalize some pattern or plan. I represent that activity to the Elohim, and you represent that pattern for mankind. The creation of a call to grace is the will to do of one person who, through his power to anchor my will to do in his heart, has come to fruition. Now is your turn to do the same. For without that will of yours, your manifestation shall remain happenstance and without definition or clarity. This is your first step to bring into physical matter your desire to ease the pressure that have built up within the earth crust, not just in the Cascadia zone, but throughout the whole world. Remember me, Hercules, as you move forward now. Please do not accept such great limitations in your individual selves, when you know it only requires the exercise of the will within you to draw forth all that you require. I will to be God-free in the name and by the presence of Hercules. I will to be a God incarnate. Say it with all your hearts. Mean it. If Buddha and Jesus did it, if Mother Mary and Kuan Yin, the goddess of mercy, did it, if Moses and St. Patrick did it, cannot you? Ah, yes, my children, you are the pillars of Hercules. You are myself in action. I shall return again tomorrow to speak of the importance of this will. God bless you. I am Hercules of the seven mighty Elohim in your service. Bless you, Hercules in Amazonia. You are dearly loved. Protecting the future, Helios and Vesta. Beloved hearts, I am Vesta, and I come to you this day as part of the God-Sun light that shines upon this council, and this world which offers all life to the solar system. We, Helios and Vesta, are the God-parents of this solar system, And while we hold the greatest of responsibilities for the completion and success of this mighty creation, we pass to each of you the same responsibility for you to will thy will to participate at the highest levels of awareness that you can. You see, dear ones, this is not about us or our parents, Alpha and Omega. It is not about the beloved cosmic silent watcher who has so graciously rendered her services to this divine plan. It is all about you. For each one, no matter how large or small, conscious or unconscious, your contribution and efforts all contribute to the whole. Without your service in executing your treasured part, believe me when I say this great solar system of our blazing love and light would be reduced to cinders. So, dear souls, and I speak most directly to those humans who think they are less than they are, you dear hearts have a vested interest in all that you do within your life. And note the word vested. It comes from the vibratory resonance of my love, my light, my joy in my heart, radiant white fire light. Each of you contain this flame of my resonance within you. All life does. I am your connection to the very life that you are. Our beloved Peter, in this sharing before me, said something that was so profound and so relevant to everything that is taking place here in this gathering. He said it at a time of his grieving and feeling of separation and loss, and it is nothing to be ashamed of, ridiculed, or not given its significance, for it represents to the whole. It is indeed a most important facet of what is transpiring here within the Elemental Grace Alliance. Its revelation to him brought him to tears. So it was more than just words. It had great power behind it. Let me repeat what Peter shared again, word for word. I remain confused. Perhaps it is fear for what may be expected of me, not by others, but of my expectations of myself. That has always scared the living life out of me. The living life. Something I have truly never done, lived my life. Here, my dear hearts, lies one of the strongest divisions that have prevented humanity from stepping away from the illusion of their own creations. To live life is to live in my heart. For I am the life within you. I am the love substance that supports you, feeds you, nurtures you, keeps you warm. I beat your heart, generate the energy that gives you the power to move and walk and play and live your life. Do not be afraid of me. Become me. You are the very essence of my eminent being. I am your beloved godmother. I am far more than you perceive in the sky above you, and you, my dear ones, are indeed living suns disguised as human beings. Dear Helios governs the planets and matters of the cosmos and is your godfather. I govern your lives, your health, your wealth, your play, your work, your family, and your homes. I govern the planets, the animals, and all matter that relate to living life upon the planets of this solar system. So I bless beloved Peter, for in this moment of feeling less than he really is, he has provided a beautiful opportunity to gift this esteemed gathering with yet another profound focus for the advancement this proposal successes, which indeed is all a part of the overall success and completion of this beautiful solar system. Beloved ones, you who may come into contact with these discourses, know in your heart of hearts that no matter what you say, no matter what you do, no matter who you may or may not think you are, even at a time of your lowest ebb, your contribution is part of the divine expression that your parents, Alpha and Omega, and your godparents, Helios and myself, Vesta, dearly cherish and honor you. For in your individualized expression of self and self, there is no separation between them, just different rates of vibration within the radiation of their atomic structures. So thank you, Peter, for this simple yet heartful sharing. It plays another very important part toward protecting the future. And if it was not this timely offering, perhaps I would not spoken of it and proffered something other than what I am about to say. As I finished this sentence, the sun came out and shone into my office with such intensity. This alone filled my heart with so much peace and gratitude, just extraordinary. Thank you, Vesta. Bless you. It was a very cloudy day indeed, or so it seemed. You are welcome, beloved friend. You are very welcome. And again, you open the door for what I'm about to say. I wish to speak of your homes, dear one, the very place that you live your lives. For these are just as important as your biological homes that you live your lives within while housing your souls. I wish to send each and every human being an invitation to call upon me, your beloved God, Parent Vesta. Invite me into your homes. I mean truly into your home, your physical living place of your everyday lives. And if you do this, I promise you, your lives will change to such a degree that your lives will never be the same again. For with me, living beside and within you consciously, by allowing me to contribute to your well-being, abundance, supply, and protection, you will never have to survive within a false existence or an untruthful life ever again. I will bring with me one or more of my beloved Vestal virgins that will reside with you, and who will assist you in any matters that you desire help with. We will sing with you, dance with you, eat and sleep with you. Your home and lives will become a beacon of love and light, and many will be drawn to both your life and your home. For when you walk through the gateway of your property and pass over the threshold into your home, they will feel the wondrous rays of my sunlight, love, and protection. My radiance through you will warm the cockles of their hearts, and they will wonder why you are so fulfilled without on your part, other than your loving heart to commune daily with us, to treat us as if we were a loving guest and beloved and dearly cherished friends. Through my radiance, you can ask of me anything that you wish to make your life more pleasurable, more delightful, more joyous, not in excess, but for the very substance of creating your life to that level where you truly understand the importance of gratitude and beauty living your life can bring. For in you being happy, you will be able to bring happiness to others, and so it is a snowball effect. Know that nothing will be denied you, not gold or jewels or any material goods or services. Did you know that gold is the love of Helios in your world? Your ancestors worshipped Helios as their sun god and used gold to adorn their shrines and temples and altars. In the same way, the precipitation of jewels and precious stones are the essence of my love and light to the people of the earth, and through these my rays, my radiance interacts with the very life, the very substance, and the very energy and abundance of earthly offerings. Look upon any of the precious stones in the sunlight and make a note of what you see. Cast your eyes within these gems and see how they glisten and reflect my light from within them. Have you ever wondered why the nature beings are so drawn to such things, gold, rubies, sapphires, crystals of all kinds, including diamonds? The only problems that arise in having these beautiful things is when man plunders these precious things for his own greed, and not just for his personal and impersonal gratitude, appreciation, and love of life. Anything more than this is not in accordance with God's will for you, and such acts carry heavy karmic consequence. If you were to come to our sun temple, you would find everyone there is adorned with such beautiful things, as well as the most exquisite flowers that radiate perfume and fragrance that mankind would give their soul for. But here we give to our souls quite a different substance indeed. So, dear ones, money and gold and jewels and any other physical things are not bad if they are used with the correct consciousness, not for pride or showing that you have more than another, not for keeping up with the Joneses, not for power or greed or manipulating to gain, but simply for the gratitude to yourself for being a conscious child of God, living the life that God desires for you. I am your guide, your keeper, your protector, the one that can supply all these things, for I am those things, and I desire that they be yours if you desire them, so that you can step out of the old patterns of loss, lack, and denial. Call me, dear ones. Bless the sunlight in your life. And as I write this again, the sunlight comes bursting into my office. Incredible. Bless you, Vesta. Seek the sunlight and do not live in the clouds or the darkness of your miscreations. Move if you have to, but seek the sun within you. Feel the rays of love and life upon your skin and within your heart. Radiate the joy of having the sunshine within your life. This way you too shall play your part in protecting the future. I, Vesta, decree that I desire with all my might to invest in you, my rays of love, purity, joy, and peace. Accept, dear soul, my decree and become one of my Vestal virgins, serving your heart-sun temple with my golden flame. Be it known that the Romans' definition is not the true definition for my Vestal virgins. They are not just women, not just priestesses, and they have not necessarily experienced a human life upon your planet. These are beings of light, androgynous beings whom men alone have given the perception of their form as women. My vessels of love, who live in service of lovingly maintaining my God flame, are indeed formless, but can take the form of any what you choose should you wish to meet with them. The purity that they optimize is the bountiness of love and dedication which they give freely as their service to God through me. The state of virgin refers only to the fact that these dear ones have never been contaminated by anything less than unconditional love and the light of God. So do not be misled by human terminology and man-made conditions that once served their own desires as the Romans did, most indiscriminately through their reign of religious doctrine and dictatorship over our God-loving souls. I say this without judgment, but for the sake so as not to confuse or mislead those who may be swayed by old perceptions from the past. I shall close now and step aside for the next loving discourse. Please, 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 I beg of you, call upon me, beloved Vesta, your godmother, and I will come. I promise you this, now and forever. And so it is. The importance and power of the will. Beloved ones, if you were to concentrate upon the law as we give it, you could come from a consciousness of limitation into one of complete freedom very quickly. It all depends upon how much you will to be, you will to do, and you will to become. As Lord Buddha sat in contemplation, searching for the fullness of truth, it was his will which drove his consciousness up through every sphere until he reached what he considered to be the ultimate. It would not let him abide long in the pleasure of any sphere of beauty, which was less than the full perfection of the heart of the eternal. When he stood in the presence of the angels, when he heard the songs of the celestial choirs, it was his will which enabled him to forego the happiness and freedom of staying in those realms. His will drove his consciousness through into the heart of truth. When he finally did stand consciously in the heart of truth and realized himself there in that God-free estate, it was his will again which brought his consciousness back to earth in order that he might give to mankind the truths embodied in his experience. It was the will in the hearts of Joshua and his followers which brought down the walls of Jericho as they marched around them. It was the will in the heart of Jesus Christ which enabled him to walk that road to Calvary, which burst the tomb asunder, and which enabled him to ascend into the fullness of his perfection, his ascension, in the presence of some 500. In the case of Saint Germain, at the time of his embodiment as Columbus, one fearless and determined man among many fear-ridden and doubting sailors, it was his will which carried his groaning ship, the Santa Maria, across the ocean. It was the will of the early patriots which brought forth America as a land of freedom. That which a man wills, he shall have. For the will is the magnetic power of the Godhead in the heart, which does evoke and bring to man that which he desires. One day on a small island in the North Sea in Ireland, one man, who is today known as St. Patrick, stood praying earnestly for his people. He stood there in the sun and the rain and in the windy gale, and even the coming of the mighty cosmic being Victory could not make him desist. Mighty Victory said to him, "Patrick, descend again and do not press God further." Patrick, unmoved, answered him, "I will to remain here until I have the word of Almighty God, that my people shall not know spiritual death." Again came the great Victory and said, "Patrick, go down from this hill in peace." Patrick again answered him, "I will to remain until my prayer is answered." And finally he did receive that for which he had prayed. It was the will of Moses on Mount Sinai which brought to him the 10 Commandments. It is your will which has brought you what you are today. You have used but such a small part of it. Ah, children, God's will for you is the fullness of all good, all opulence, all beauty, and all freedom. Give me the man or woman who will not accept a partial payment from life, he who says in the calm dignity and mastery of his own heart, I will to be God-free. He who holds his chin up, straightens his spine, and proceeds along life's way, refusing death, refusing disillusion, refusing with the realization that what you will to be, you will be. What you will to manifest must come, for it is the law. I am Hercules. Remember me as you move forward now. Please do not accept such great limitation in your individual selves, when you know it only requires the exercise of the will within you to simply draw forth all that you require. I will to be God-free. In the name and by the power of Hercules, I will to be a God incarnate. I am in your service. So as part of this initiative to make a decision, to will to do and to will to be, then you now are being invited to make up your own invocation based on invoking beloved Hercules and Amazonia to join and align with you within this first step of precipitation. To make your choice about what you desire and how you wish to create your part within this pressure release from Mother Gaia, and more importantly, the pressures within you that remain stuck, that no longer serves you. In the meantime, I offer this prayer as an overall prayer, when and if you wish to bring into manifestation that which you desire. Use it wisely and with heartfelt passion. Without the emotion of passion and divine love, it will have little effect. Use this prayer as part of your divine focus if you like, and then one by one call upon each of the mighty Elohim as we shall describe for you in this journey of a God awakening, and allow each part to follow this scientific law of precipitation. The mighty Elohim prayer of invocation. Beloved Mother, Father God, Almighty I Am Presence, Holy Spirit, dear Jesus the Christ in me, bestow and grant unto me in this eternal instant your love and light, for I am your son, daughter, as you created me. I am showered with your love, wisdom, and power. I am bathed in your guidance and direction, your upliftment and enlightenment for the greatest potential growth of my soul at every moment. Do not limit my expansion, O Lord, for I am that I am, and cannot be limited to a single-dimensional realm. Bring forth all remaining lessons for me to complete, so my soul can return back to the wholeness that you are. I call upon the seven mighty Elohim to surround me and to sit upon the altar of my heart. The very core of my being, endow me with your divine virtues and attributes, so that I may create instantaneous that which is my desire, that which God desires for me to create from my quality of life and freedom of spirit. Come forth, beloved Hercules and Amazonia, and bless me with your power to make firm and instantaneous decisions for each of the creations that God desires to manifest through me. Grace me with the will to do thy will. Help me with the prayerful thoughts for the application to set the 7 steps of precipitation into motion. Support me by enveloping me with your enthusiasm and feelings of joy to bring them forth. Hold steady my mental body so I truly hold God's will, the will to do, the will to be within my supreme mind. Mighty Cassiopeia and Minerva, come forth and show me the perfection and perfectly clear picture, the illumination of the desires that God wills for me. I wish to know the best, most simple, and most efficient ways of bringing such creations forth for the greatest good of all concerned. May the flame of beloved Orion and Angelica imbue me with your love to make manifest his desires. I will to create in perfection, and so your love will show me the way to do this. Beloved Claire and Astrea, envelop me in your perfect purity, so I can fully embrace the exact design and instruction of God's idea. Show me, dear ones, how not to change any of the divine patterns with selfish desire or unconscious self-motivation. Almighty Vesta and Crystal, empower me with the confidence and ability to hold the concentration, to see God's desired creation through me to be wholly fulfilled and completed. Elohim, Arcturus, and Diana, charge me with your rhythms so that I may regularly and diligently perform my task. O beloved, peace and aloha, come to me and surround me with your peace, harmony, and joy, and embed, enfold, and embrace God's desired creation through me with these qualities, so that his creation will not be deteriorated, fail, fall apart, become incomplete, or be oppressed by negative energies, and when complete, remain so, for as long as it is prescribed by the will of God. Seal and protect God's creation through me with your peace and love. Bless you all with my loving heart. I am that I am, and so it is. If you desire success in this undertaking, know that you will have to put your heart and soul into this. Your level of commitment will determine its level of achievement and manifestation. And as Hercules said, everything that has ever been accomplished on the plane of earth or in the plane of heaven has been accomplished by men and women of decision, by angels, elementals, and divas of decision, by beings who have voluntarily chosen to combine the energies of their lives with the will to do. Without the will to do, there is no permanence of accomplishment. Bless you all, and may you be filled with the will to do, the will to be. Peter. We will see you next week for Lesson 2.